evening and welcome to the Sunday night. What we're going to call it this show? Well, the Sunday night show here on Claret and Booze.
It's a talkHAMMERS show.
It's a talkHAMMERS show.
Nick titled it a masturbate, but I'm not getting involved in any of that.
He loves a masturbate, doesn't he? He really does. Really does. Big fan. Big fan. But anyway, I'm joined by John. I'm joined by Nick, the usual crew. You know they are. So what we're going to do tonight is it's international break, which everyone bloody hates. I know I do. West Ham news is slow on a normal week. It's even slower now. It's bloody awful. I made a show yesterday where I commented on other people's shows.
Are you missing West? Are you missing West Ham this week, or is it nice to have a weekend off?
You know what? I've got stuff to do, so I'm not fussed.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to the game next week up at Villa. I'm not going, but I'd like to. I'd like to. So I've got a week off soon.
I've tried to get a ticket for that.
A whole week off. Yeah. So did I. I tried. Because we were due to have a bunch of Americans coming over, and they're not coming anymore. So I was going to take them to try and take one of them to the game. Anyway, back to the topic.
Yep.
We've got a bunch of questions that have been submitted. Nick's going to take us through. Last time we did this, when John was on his extended holiday, it was
I'm
actually
not ready
good
yet,
fun.
by the way. Hang on.
You're not ready. You're not ready.
I'm not ready yet. No, go on.
So,
Can I just make reference to a comment, if you don't mind, Gail, before you carry on?
You do that.
Now, as you know, we're all Cockneys, but we don't need people from the West Country. Oddsy said, must be a Cockney thing being late. Never had this problem in the Southwest, even was all Gummidge was on time. You've got nothing to do down there, mate. You're literally
absolutely nothing.
It's you're in heaven's waiting room down there.
Fucking life revolves around a pasty shop. What time's the pasty shop opening? Do you know what I mean?
Dodds is on time for everything because he's retired, so he's actually early. He turns up early for everything.
We are double busy, us Cockneys. Don't you fucking worry. We are double busy.
I literally just had wire cutters in my hand just a second ago. Right, come in here, sort it out. Going for the news.
So when the lights go off later, you'll know what it is.
Well, no, that's a different lighting circuit. It's a different lighting circuit. Don't you worry about that.
Just so you know, Gary goes well overboard when he does everything. I can imagine that he's got 4 lights in his shed and he's got each individual light on the circuit breaker.
4 lights. I've got 8 lights.
No, but I can imagine each one's got its own circuit breaker.
No. If you can do a job, John, do it properly. Right? Do it properly. I want everything concealed.
You're rivaling the new building 250 Bishopsgate, isn't you? You're trying to fucking like.
Thing is, right, you can do a job and you can do a job and you can bodge it, which is what I did with this shed previously. I just got it in, got it working, right? But now I want to build something to last. And so I sort of started refreshing like the standards and stuff like that. And I thought you got to build stuff to standard. And that stuff takes time.
It's a shed.
I'm not used to it. I'm not used to it.
It is just a shed, Joe.
It's not a shed. It's not a shed. It's it's an end of garden suite. That's what it's gonna be. That's what it's gonna be. All right.
You're gonna fucking end up there, but you're gonna put it on Airbnb, I reckon.
He will.
I will. I'll have people sleeping in my office, but it's gonna be magnificent when it's done. It's gonna be magnificent. So this little box room, this is just gonna be used for YouTube. So it'll be set up. I'll be able to make rambles. It'd be easy, and just next door will be work. It's brilliant. Gary 2 offices. That's what I'm gonna be. Let's go through a few comments while we're waiting, John. Go on.
Hey, everyone's just saying hello, mate. There's no comments coming on yet because we're
hello.
Get him out.
There's not even any.
I'm live.
So we got.
Just let the fucking 2 dogs in here. Honestly.
Well, don't let the dogs in again. I saw what they did yesterday to your chair. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, she's letting back in.
What ones you got in there? What ones you got in
now?
Oh my God, he ain't gonna. He's got a shorter fuse than you, isn't he? I mean,
just so you know, that's what the dog did to my a spare chair I've got in my room yesterday.
So he says that was probably. I reckon Nick had a little. I reckon that was Nick when he heard the rumor that Moyes might be signing the contract. He started eating.
That's right. Started tearing it up.
I'm not saying that rumor.
Smash the kitchen up. Yeah, that is a rumor that keeps doing the rounds, but I think it's just started. Twitter, by Moyes fans.
It's just started on Twitter by Moyes fans. Of course, I've got to get him out. Hang on, carry on talking for a minute.
Give him another 2 years. Every time we win a game, give him another 2 years. Yawn.
Well,
he ain't getting another 2 years.
It's not past the realms of possibility. That's all I'd say.
Well,
the big one for me is apparently, obviously, Soucek's out of contract in the summer, and apparently the Soucek contracts like on the verge of breaking down. They reckon the contract negotiation.
I thought we signed it.
No, apparently I heard today that apparently Inter Milan are looking to come into.
So
I mean,
ignore
obviously it's all rumours.
Well, ignore that update on yesterday's ramble because I heard we were told ages ago that he'd signed that new 4-year contract, and we were thinking, why are we giving him a 4-year contract?
Yeah. The rumours I've read yesterday and today, apparently, obviously it's always apparently, the Soucek contract negotiations may break down or have broken down. I don't know.
Apparently it's done, John.
Yeah, I thought it was done. I thought it was done months ago, to be honest.
Where's they all come from again? These bloody rumours in.
People it's international break, isn't it? I think people just fucking make stuff up.
Yeah. I think that was a convenient story. I did cover this on the ramble yesterday. The Italians were looking at him as a free transfer, but I said he'd already signed a 4-year deal, so he ain't a free transfer. I thought that I don't think there's a negotiation still going on. I really don't. I think that was signed a month ago, 2 months ago.
But Mark Watson's got a good point here. It was never announced by the club. Has it ever been announced by the club?
It wasn't, and the club's been asked about that. And I think
that's a strange thing, then, isn't it?
I think this is through X for some reason. I don't.
But X is refuting it, and he's saying that he has signed.
Exactly, and he said in response to why haven't the club said anything about it? He said something like, well, I don't know, the club don't like to.
Look, I think because the reaction to Soucek signing a contract, especially when he signed it, which was more or less at the start of the season, wouldn't have been that great. Let's face it, he's been all right this year. Good. Prior to that, he's been awful, and him signing a new 4-year contract wouldn't have got a good reaction.
No, it wouldn't have, but it probably would now because you'd look at it.
You'll have to break it in some way. I'm not saying you'll do a big fucking like media, video like they did with Bowen or something like that. But they'd have to announce it somewhere.
You would, but I think Nick's right in that when it was signed, which was a month or two ago. Yeah, it was a few months ago. At that point, it wouldn't have been very popular because he hadn't proved himself. He hadn't had a good start to the season. Now, a few months later, he's had a good start to the season. I think it's common sense because you got a player and you might not even want to keep, but he's on a 4-year deal and he's playing well in the Premier League, so you're going to get a good price for him. Right. I
think now, at least with an upturn in form, we'd have more chance of selling him now.
I think so. Yeah. I think there'll be plenty of takers now. You probably get 30 million for him now again.
Just want to answer Ryan's question. Ryan, it's been a very sad week for me this week because Walkers have announced that they're going to stop making the Worcestershire sauce flavoured crisp, which is one of my favourites. So today, I went and got some Worcester sauce flavoured Walkers and I'm nibbling on them.
That's like the packet from the multi-pack that never gets eaten because they're horrible.
It does get eaten, Nick. It gets eaten, Nick. It gets eaten, Nick.
You don't like prawn cocktail? I like prawn cocktail. You remember when you don't like them? Walkers dropped prawn cocktail, didn't they? I like prawn cocktail.
Yeah,
it was a proper 80s brand. That is.
Nope, not for me.
They never ask people, do they? They never,
No, they don't.
Have you written a complaint, John? Or
I ain't got time. I'm fucking double busy.
Write a stern letter. Go on. Write a stern letter.
Yeah. Did you have a game today, the boys, Nick?
Yeah, we did. It was we avoided a mass. I know it's sounding like a fucking running thing now. We played a team that we always have issues against, every season, and they're always in our division. It's a grudge match. A lot of the kids know each other from school and stuff. And it was all good for 2/3 of the game, and then there was one bad tackle, and it turned into kind of handbags, but a mass brawl on the fucking pitch. Referee lost the plot completely because he was a young kid. He was about 18. He said, right, sending 3 of your players off and 2 of your players. And I'm like, well, which players? He went, well, number 2, the boy, he weren't even involved. He was back at the other end of the pitch. I said he weren't even there. And what it was, he's got curly hair. So the one that he's talking about, but he weren't the same player. So as it turned out, in the end, we managed to convince the guy. I said, look, we'll make a peace offering. We'll take off the 2 players that you ask us to. We'll hook them and carry on playing with 11 players. And that's kind of what we did. So we got away without any suspension. Finished 2-2. Scrappy game.
Desmond, lovely.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
What's happened with our background here? Why have we got a black background?
No, we haven't. That's just you. That's your.
Is it me again?
PC does strange
for your wiring. You've done something with your wiring.
Yeah. Turn the breaker on, gal.
It's all gone dark.
Right.
Yeah.
So let me find the first message anyway. This might work. I haven't tested it yet. 1 second.
God, saying up with my collar here. Sort it out.
People now just like literally telling me what flavours of crisps they like.
It's very rare these days, isn't it?
Hang on.
He's got that determined.
Right, can you hear that?
No, barely.
Guys, Paul from Luton here.
Can you hear that?
All doing well.
Yep.
I just want to say a few words on
I'll turn him
the
up.
man Paqueta, and just your thoughts on him. For my money, he is one of the best players I've seen at West Ham in a long time. I think he's the hardest working flair player that I've seen, well, since forever. You know, he's just an absolutely magical player, you know, but he's not just got the focus and the vision and the passing ability, but he's got that determination and the grit to track back and make tackles. He's not afraid of a booking, obviously. I know it's a contentious issue at the minute, like, you know what I mean, with him, but you know what? I think he's been absolutely wonderful this season. And you know something else as well? His attitude and his mentality, you know, it's been fucking top notch.
Yeah.
You know, he said, you know, he wanted a move, you know, because, you know, obviously Man City and such come in asking after him, you know, but he said if it goes ahead, but if it don't, you know, he's going to stay and he's going to perform and he's going to do his best for West Ham. You know what? And I think he's been as good as his word. You know, I think he's beyond reproach in that manner, like, you know what I mean? Because we've seen it before with other players that we've taken to our heart really quickly, like, you know, Arnie and Paqueta, you know, and they've come in and, like, you know, made us sit up and think, fuck me, we've got a player here, like, you know, and then another club comes in for them and such, like, you know what I mean? And then the toys get thrown out the pram, particularly like with Arnie and such, like, you know what I mean? And I just think Paqueta's been a fucking brilliant example of a professional footballer, and he's just magical to watch. And you know, I think he's one of the best players I've seen at West Ham, and I turned 50 this June, so I've seen a few come and go, obviously, like, but I think this guy is absolute top notch. You know, it don't matter where you play him, where, you know, he can play as a 6, an 8, a 10. He's even been up front for the tail end of games when he's been tiring. You know, he's been left midfield, but he's that good. It don't matter where he's played. He just makes it look easy. He's just fucking sensational, isn't he? The other thing I wanted to ask is there any way that we keep hold of him? You know, and if so, what would it be? I mean, I'm thinking, and I mean, it's a massive if, you know, if we were to, you know, maintain our wonderful form in Europe and say we won the Europa League. I know it's a big ask, but we got in the Champions League. I honestly think that might be enough for him to stay. But, you know, it's a massive ask, isn't it? Like, you know what I mean? But I just wanted to say, like, I think he's just been fucking brilliant this season. You know, he seems like a fucking top guy as well. Like, you know, he's been as good as his word, you know, and that's very rare these days, isn't it? Anyway, guys, have a good evening. Love your shows. Take care and come on your irons.
Cheers, Paul. That was Paul from Luton.
Paul from Luton.
Yeah, massive Paqueta loving, and I think there isn't anyone. I don't think there's a West Ham fan that would disagree. To be quite honest with,
I think he's shit.
Yeah. I honestly, I think everything he said is right in terms of the flair player element to have that side of his game as well. You know, that kind of tenacious side. And I read an article today. It was from a Brazilian journalist that came out and said Paqueta is the best performing Brazilian in the world at the moment.
Yeah,
he's literally there. He's unbelievable. So it is being recognised as well, and that does obviously all feed into whether or not we can actually retain him. Personally, you know, I was wrong when I was being deluded about Declan Rice staying when everyone else was saying he was going to go. So that it's heart over head with stuff like that. But I think it does come down to the type of player that they are. We don't know with Paqueta. He's tried to get he's had his move to a big club in Milan. That didn't quite work out. Went to Lyon. Now, obviously, we've all seen the embrace with Pep. We've seen that. But look, we don't know. I think this project that Tim is selling to our players at the moment. We don't actually know what that is and what that involves. So it's not. I don't think it's just money we're throwing at Paqueta. I think there's something more as well. So I'm gonna choose to be optimistic because I think this guy's got bags of character. He looks like he loves West Ham. So I'm saying it's not over until the fat lady sings. What do you reckon, John?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of opportunities to entice him to stay. As Paul said there, look, if we managed to win the Europa League, which is, a bit of a long shot, but the possibility's there, and you get into the Champions League, that's an incentive for players to stay. I think that the most important thing for me is what he's being told by Tim Steidten, because obviously, as you said, we don't know what information they're giving out to players. No. Personally, I'd be very surprised if it was anything to undermine Moyes, the current regime. Like, we're going to bring this manager in. I don't know how far or how in detail they're going to go into it, but for me, Paqueta has surprised me massively because we all said it. We knew what we was getting, the flair and all that. We'd seen him in fits and spurts for Lyon and things like that when we played against him. I'm not a big advocate of watching French football, I've got to be honest with you. So
he's nothing like what we thought we was going to get, is he?
Well, no, this is the thing. Quite early on in his career at West Ham, we was almost surprised, massively surprised at the fact that he likes to put the boot in, the fact that he's hardworking, because in my mind, from the limited games that I'd seen him play, he was all about the flair.
Yeah.
And I don't watch the Brazilian national team, but he's very much surprised me. And I agree with Paul. For West Ham fans, we haven't been blessed with many world-class players or greats over the years, or, what would be classed as greats by the wider world of football. But all we've asked at the very least is hard work and determination. But when you combine that with the flair and the skill that he's got, he has every opportunity to become a West Ham great, a West Ham legend. But the cynical side of me, after the embrace, I'm not somebody who worries about it too much, because I think that we will always have to end up selling our big players unless we get bought out by a Qatari or something like that. But, as long as he's at the club, as long as he's performing like he is, and hasn't down tools, which he obviously hasn't, because he's been one of our better players, if not the best player this season, then let's hope for more performances like that, So, yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely not going to down tools. What do you reckon, Gary? What does your heart and your head tell you about Paqueta? We all know what we all think about Paqueta. What do you think? Do you think there's any way we could swing that in our favour to persuade him? He is one of the best players in the Premier League, isn't he?
He'd walk into any other team in the Premier League, literally, right? He would. He's superb. I don't want to repeat everything that's been said, but that one thing about the mixture of such extreme flair and filth, I've never seen that in a player before. Play for West Ham, anyway, right? I've never seen it. It's always one or the other, isn't it?
He's a team player, isn't he? He's a team player.
He is a team player. He loves playing the game. You can see he absolutely loves it. Did you see the look on his face? And also, who was it? What's his name? The centre half, the new centre back. Fucking hell,
Mavropanos.
No. The new central midfielder. Oh God, I've had a blank. Alvarez. Yeah. Those two were loving that game against Luton. It was real blood and thunder stuff, and they had smiles on their faces, getting stuck in, right? And
and typically, just to interrupt, that's the type of game that you'd expect a flair foreign player to go, what the fuck's this?
Yeah. That's proper grassroots, and that's obviously where he's come from, on Paqueta Island, which is where the betting scandal has come from. He went to see the FA on that, and I don't think they've got any evidence, to be honest. But
he's just got to keep saying it wasn't me. That's what he got to do.
But hopefully it will come to nothing. We clearly think it's going to come to nothing, because the word on the street is trying to offer him 200 grand a week. But when did you hear that last time? That was Sullivan trying to offer Declan Rice 200 grand a week, right? I'd love to see him sign a new deal. I can't see it. Unless, and look, if we get into Champions League, maybe, but that's a long shot, isn't it? I would, and that would trigger a load of other things as well, right? That would trigger Moyes staying. And again, I don't know what these players think deep down inside, and I'd love to know what's in that starting sales pitch, but it's something special, right? I mean, you can use your imagination.
Yeah. Do you think, listen, like Jan says here that, she basically said, I don't think qualifying for the Champions League is that sort of far-fetched because of how well we
No, it ain't.
when we got to the semi-final. So Champions League next season is that to imagine we got the semi-final 2 years ago with a far inferior side. She's 100% correct. But if we were to qualify for the Champions League, do you think they'd let Moyes manage in the Champions League? Or do you think that'll be
I think it all depends what this project is. Yeah. I think if it's pretty much the same regime, if it's Sullivan, the same business model, the way that we're funding things, if nothing's changing next season, we're just kind of building gradually, and he achieved that, then they probably would look at taking him on. But if there is something, if there's a big cash influx coming into the club and there is something afoot that we're not aware of, then I'm not being funny. If you're going to be spending serious money, then Moyes ain't your man, irrespective of what he's achieved. And he would be worthy if he won us another trophy this year. He would be fucking statue worthy. Let's face it. But
he would, and he'd deserve a new contract as well, right?
No,
you can't deny that. You can't.
I'm not saying that he wouldn't deserve a new contract. But what I'm saying is,
I'm not saying
with Leicester with Ranieri, depends what your project is. If you're buying this club and you want to take it to another level, David Moyes is only going to take it. Is only going to take it so far. He's only going to take it so far.
So getting back to Paqueta quickly. West Ham Online, is that Alfie, isn't it, who phones
Yeah.
Let's not overrate Paqueta. Doesn't score enough goals, really. Rice was better.
No. I'd say here's where I disagree. I think Paqueta is top class. I think he is.
Paqueta's a better player than Rice.
I think
they're different players, though, aren't they?
I think he does all the dirty work and all. I mean, if you have a look at his defensive stats, John, he's up the top.
Yeah. I'm not, but the flair, I can't compare. They're not like for like comparison.
They're not. You're probably
what I'm saying.
You're looking at comparing Alvarez to Rice, aren't you? Really? As
Paqueta. Probably.
And Alvarez is actually a better defensive midfielder.
Better defensive midfielder.
Than Rice. He don't carry the ball up pitch, but we don't play that way anyway. But yeah, you can't really say Rice versus Paqueta, can you? Two completely different players. No. You couldn't even say Rice against Payet. We had that conversation the other week because, again, different players.
Well, can I ask you all a question now? Imagine we've got this version of Paqueta.
Rice didn't score many goals.
No, he didn't. I know. But
he didn't say he did, but he just says.
But we've got Rice as he was last season, and we've got this Paqueta, and you've got the option to lose one of them. Which one are you going to lose if you can keep one and lose one? You've got last season's Rice and you've got this season's Paqueta in our team at the moment. You've got the option. You can lose one and you can keep one for the long term. Which one are you going to lose? Which one are you going to keep?
With what I know now, and how the team plays after Rice, I'd keep Paqueta.
Yep.
No. But Gal, sorry to interject, mate. You've got to remember. I've said this a million times. We have got rid of Rice and we're better as a team.
Yeah.
But we've replaced.
We're not focused around one player, John.
Yeah, but we've replaced Rice with two better players. So
and we've got Soucek back, and he's a better player for it.
But you've replaced. What I'm trying to say is the centre midfield last year was weak, apart from Rice, right? But now you've replaced Rice with Alvarez, Ward-Prowse, and also you've got Soucek in form. So it's a little bit. I personally think. I
know what you mean, but I think it's fair to say that we've got better since he's gone. And I know, and what you're saying is right. It's because we've replaced him.
Because they bought well. Because they bought very well. Same as Spurs losing Kane. Yeah. There was a big fear factor about losing.
It's all about Ange Postecoglou, now, isn't it, John?
Here we go.
How long? What was it? 24 minutes.
That's the longest ever. That's the longest ever.
Yeah.
No, it's interesting with Paqueta. Look, will we always be a stepping stone? Probably, unless we really achieve. Unless we really achieve Champions League on a regular basis, Gal, I think we probably will be. Sorry to say.
Yeah, I think that the Qataris are looking elsewhere at the moment. The thing that worries me about the Qataris is Liverpool are up for sale, right?
Yeah.
And it's known. It's known that they're up for sale. Arsenal's not for sale. Man United no longer for sale. Who else from the other ones? Chelsea are not for sale.
Yeah.
Tottenham are not for sale, from what I can understand. So who else would it be? Villa are not for sale. I can't think of any other.
We are for sale.
Club. Newcastle are not for sale. We are for sale. Liverpool
Man
are
United,
for sale.
Man United were for sale, but Radcliffe, they've allowed Radcliffe to buy 25%.
25%. So that's the start for him to become eventually a majority shareholder, right? He'll buy more and more and more. His company generates 60 billion a year. That ain't to say that goes into his pocket, but he's a rich bloke, a very rich bloke. He's got the resources. And,
do you know what? It is a shame because he's the one that I would have loved to have.
If he's a Man U fan, right?
Yeah,
I know.
So I mean, you look at the ones that have the Abu Dhabi lot that have gone into City, the Saudi lot that got into Newcastle. They're not Newcastle and City fans. They're just they believe in plundering money into the project and making them a great side, and that's what they've done. Same as Abramovich at Chelsea, and that's if the Qataris came into us, that's what they'd do. And we would be a relative snip, right?
Glenn says we're not for sale. Glenn, we are for
We're
sale.
Way for sale, Glenn.
Every club's for sale. I can tell you that much anyway. You can buy any club.
We have been
but we
unofficially for sale. We've been unofficially for sale and hearing our offers for the last 2 years, Glenn. That's true.
Right, next one.
Next question.
Controversial, this is.
Next question.
Hello, Clarence Booze. How you doing? It's Mickey, long-time listener, gold badge owner. What are you saying?
Gold badge owner.
Listen, so my question for you is, are you changing your mind, or have you changed your mind regarding David Moyes? For me, when we got him the second time,
Flop.
I didn't want him because of the first time. I just thought that he was boring football. But the second time, he did change my mind on him. I done a 180, and then I was a supporter of him, big supporter of him, to be honest with you. And then it weren't like a knee-jerk reaction because it was over time that I found it boring and it was so bad, I thought anyway. So then I became Moyes out. I'm not saying I'm Moyes in, I really ain't.
Sounds like you are.
But I want to be entertained more, as we all know.
Yeah.
But some of the goals we're scoring are lovely goals and moves.
Yeah. I think
so I'm not
to you, though,
as far Moyes out as what I was. I've got to admit.
Yeah.
I'm slowly turning. So I don't know. I'm just thinking, what's your views on it?
Go on, John.
Lovely show, lads. Good luck to you.
Cheers, Mickey.
Cheers, Mickey.
How does he know it's a lovely show if he sent the recording in yesterday?
Psychic as well.
He's just, yeah.
No, he's a genius, that boy, isn't he? Look, I'm a little bit ambiguous. Is the word ambiguous?
Ambivalent.
What?
Yeah.
Ambivalent. Sorry. That's not Gary, you posh git.
John just blue screened.
Yeah. Look, like I always say, the results do gloss over a lot, and when you're doing well, we never really thought we'd be sitting where we are in the league. Let's be honest, this stage of the season, it might be a little bit, pessimistic of us to have thought that. I don't know, but we're all pleasantly surprised with our position in the league, which will gloss over the form or the style of play to some extent. But I'm still of the opinion that, for me, if West Ham are winning, to some extent, I'm happy. And I don't think the performances this year so far have been as bad as some of the performances I watched at the back end of last year.
Yeah.
I don't think they have, some of them. Brighton away, I thought we were brilliant. Yes, we had low possession and all that, but I thought, and sometimes them games, like people get really caught up on the shithousery. We shithouse the win. Sometimes I love shithouse in a win. It fills me with nothing but joy.
That's only against top teams. No, you don't like shithouse in a win.
No. Exactly. That's what I was going to say. Brighton are a top team. Brighton are a top team at the minute. So go in there, winning 3-1, shithouse in it. Then I love it. Rubbing it in the other fans' throats. So for me, the results are important, but yes, style of play does come into it. And if we start consistently having those dour performances against lesser teams, if you like, or teams that we should be taking to the sword a little bit more with the style of play that we've got, then I'll still be wanting Moyes to go at some point because it's just dull,
I think my opinion is clear, right? I'm not Moyes out at the moment, but I will be in the summer. As soon as the season's finished, I'll be Moyes out again. I was Moyes out this summer, but now the season's underway and we're doing well. Might as well support him and carry on. I ain't going to moan about him while the season's on. He ain't going anywhere till the summer, but he will go in the summer, right? If we don't win a trophy and just it's kind of embarrassing to keep him, not to let him go like it was last summer, then I think the answer is clear, and we know Sullivan's habit. Sullivan does not renew contracts until the summer. So again, all that nonsense on Twitter about giving him a 2 year. Sullivan don't give out deals early. He never does it.
I think we're all of the opinion that he's here till the end of the season, at the very least.
With the way that he started, absolutely. I mean, like, it's. I'll be more ballsy. I'll say, look, I am still Moyes out, but I'm not desperately Moyes out now. What that means is that I'm not that fussed if he sees out the season because we're doing all right. But if he went tomorrow, I'd be happy. Is all I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say. So if he I'm happy for him to stay doing what he's doing. But when you look at the players that we've got, I just think that we would be better if we got a better manager. And I know people are going to say, "Better the devil you know," this, that, the other, blah blah blah. They were saying that about Ange Postecoglou when we were linked with him.
Middle of the season, as long as we carry on playing like winning, collecting points, I think I'm happy. I'm fine about that. I've now set my sights on the summer. I kind of didn't expect them to get rid of him after winning that trophy. Yeah. Let's face it, the odds of us winning a second trophy in 2 seasons are pretty remote, right? And if we end up in a final, it's very likely going to be against Liverpool. And we know Liverpool are bloody experts. I'd love to fucking beat Liverpool. I would. But at the same time, you got to say they are past masters at winning trophies. Even nicking the trophy off us, stealing it off us in 2006, right? And then in 1981, they beat us as well in a replay in the League Cup final. So I always worry when you get somebody like Liverpool in a cup competition.
Yeah. But for me. I don't know. I think people are still getting too carried away with this season. I think once we're a quarter of the way in, once we're maybe up to Everton, once we've got past Arsenal, once we've qualified for the Europa League, once we've gone further in the FA Cup, then maybe we can get because look, there's been a lot of games we've conceded so many chances on our goal. There's only been one game this season. No, but there's only been one game this season where we haven't conceded. And for me, I do think that people are getting carried away at the moment. If it continues in this vein, then yes, you can sit there and go, yeah, that's fine. Blah blah blah. But as it stands at the moment, it's all very well saying it'll be all right until the end of the season, but in a month it can change.
I think you can dissect games. You can dissect games and what's happened so far this year. But at the end of the day, if you look back at the results, it's a fine set of results, right?
I think
including Europe, including
Europe. Is this Nigel West Ham United history?
Yeah,
no, it's not. Is it someone else? No. People batting on about I started following us because of the style of play. Is that a bollocks? I was 7 years old. Most wore shorts, so don't kid yourself. What? No, you start supporting it because your family support it.
Your family I didn't choose to support West Ham.
No.
I'll tell you what, right? That is, I can counter what was just said there because I think when I first got really into football was back in the day when I started watching football.
It was a Harry Redknapp era for me. That was
but let me finish what I'm saying. A minute. My dad started taking me in like 1976, and I didn't have a fucking clue what was going on, I've got to be honest, right? But there was in 78, 79, I started to watch a bit of football on telly, and we were in the old second division, and my dad used to fucking rave about Trevor Brooking and people like that, and the ball he's played. And like, if you remember the big match on the Sunday with Brian Moore, even when we were in the old second division, you used to get games on the big match on Sunday, and Brian Moore fucking loved Trevor Brooking. So I've got to say, it was the way we played. And also when I started going regularly to games 77, 78, 79, especially when we got back into the top flight, you just develop this habit, right, of West Ham on any given day can beat anyone. That is what it was like. We would go for anyone, especially under Lyle, right?
I think this is a counter question from Pie Mash and Liquor. Gary and John, can you honestly say you enjoy watching the football over the London Stadium? It's so boring, it frustrates the shit out of me. I honestly only suffer it because of Paqueta. For me, the home games this season that I've been to, which is all but one, I know it's not many, but it's the ones I've been to, I haven't been that bored. I wasn't bored against City.
Has it been exciting though?
No, not overall. But what I'd say is we beat Chelsea 3-1.
Yeah,
so
that was good. I was there.
Not be excited by that.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter about they missed penalty or whatever happened. They had lots of chances. Doesn't matter. We won that game. Man City first half we was good. I personally felt. I know they had chances to score, but they didn't.
Yeah.
And we went in 1-0 up. So that's football. But then when you look at some of the other games, like, you know, we've been dull to watch. Of course we have. I totally get
but
that.
for me, just
the European
hang on,
game against Paqueta was terrible, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was shit. But just to flip this a minute, for me, so let's go back. Let's not go back too far into history. Let's go back to 15-16. Now that's a season where we won fuck all. We won nothing in that season, right? But we will remember that, and it isn't just because it was a last year at Upton Park. It's because we had so many amazing games. Every game was entertainment. We can probably remember more moments from that season than we can from the last 5 in terms of moments throughout. You know, great goals, great nights, nights under the lights at Upton Park. That season was so special, and it was entertainment from back to front. And yeah, it was fucking crazy. We've gone from beating Liverpool 2 or 3 times, whatever it was, to losing at home to Swansea. It was typical West Ham. But the fact of the matter is, that was what West Ham were all about. We weren't scared of anyone. We was going at them, and that was entertainment for a full season. So what I'm asking to you is, as fans, what is more important, you know? Being entertained for the duration of your time supporting the team, loving going and watching them, or boring your way to a final and winning it? What's better is what I'm asking.
I think if you're talking about a cup competition, I don't care.
No, I'm talking about a whole
winning.
season, Gary. A whole season. The season last year was shit.
Yeah, it was. But Nick, you are kind of generalising a little bit. I mean, for a start, let me just answer the question. I love it over there now because I've got a really nice seat. With Paul, got Ross, I got, you know, a few other people in front, got, you know, the people behind are really nice.
I'm talking about the football.
No, but I just love the experience now. I didn't like it until I moved into the Bobby Moore lower. I love it now, right? I think I'm back to looking forward to going to football, and I've been for a couple of years, and we've had some great nights over that London Stadium, days as well. You got to remember when we, when we beat Liverpool, when we beat Chelsea, beat Tottenham. You got to remember when we beat Seville. What a fucking night that was. We've had some really, really great nights, and football grounds are made by memories, right? That is what they're made by. I'm not going to just carry on about Upton Park because I loved it. That's on the record.
But hang on, Gary. Just to interrupt you, you're misinterpreting what I'm saying. I'm not talking about Upton Park versus London Stadium.
That's what it was about, though.
No, it wasn't about that. I said 15-16. It wasn't about that at all. You weren't listening.
No, that's the question. The question.
No, but it's about 15-16. So that season was a season full of entertainment. The whole lot of it. Oh, fuck me.
Did I get it wrong?
No,
I thought it was about...
but I carried on. You rambled on for half an hour, and then John did, and then I asked you a question, Gary.
He was talking about style of football. But then Nick homed in on the 15-16 season purely because we know what that season was. So Nick sort of became a little bit more focused on that. That's what it is.
But then the season before last was fantastic. And it was brilliant the season before last when we got to the semi-final. Disappointing end, but it was a great season.
But I made
I
made the comparison of what is more important to fans. I wasn't making a comparison. I said,
is it entertainment?
That was a question.
Yeah.
The funny thing is that for me, growing up a West Ham fan, me and Nick are the same age, right? We never saw West Ham win a trophy, so it was all about entertainment because that's all you had, right? Yeah. Now, over the last couple of years, because we've had, before the Conference League win, we had relative success with, semi-final Europa League and dotted around with some, big wins, big clubs and things like that, little bits and poor performances as well. But with the trophy, does that now change people's mentality? Because if you look at last year, the Cup definitely masked over the piss poor performances that we had.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
So do you think that the winning of the trophy has changed a lot of people's ideas of what it is?
Yeah, I think so.
So now are people I think the fan base is split. Obviously, you can't speak for everybody, but maybe some people that purely saw it as an entertainment thing, maybe their mindset has been changed by winning the Cup because it's been so long since we won the Cup, and we all enjoyed winning that Cup. Of course we did, right? But now do you think a lot of people's mentality is shifted because they think, right, you know what? Okay, the football might not be great, but if we win a trophy again, so what?
I think there are quite a number of people who will forgive Moyes anything because of winning the trophy, and I get that, right? I get that because most people in their lifetimes, a lot of people who your age or younger have never seen us win a trophy, right? And that is a lot of people. That's a lot of West Ham fans. So I get that. And I know I'm in the privileged position of being alive when we won 2 more, right? 2 FA Cups before that. So I genuinely do get it. But at the same time, I don't, in my mind, I don't get the Moyes psyche, right? I don't get the Moyes psyche of, going out and worrying about the other team so much that you don't play yourselves and you don't try and open them up, because that's what we do, right? We worry about the opposition. Now, if you look at Brian Clough, the way he used to play football, never even used to talk about the opposition. Apparently, that's the way John Lyall used to run it as well. And that's why we grew up with that kind of fearless thing. Harry didn't care about other teams at home, did he? He weren't so good on the road, but teams at home, we would go for them, right? We would. And I think to a large extent, Sam Allardyce would go for teams at home, right? And try to score lots of goals. Again, when we went away to a Man U or a Liverpool or something like that, we generally lost. That goes for Harry Redknapp, it goes for Sam Allardyce, it goes for David Moyes. That is the sort of unwritten rule. But at home especially, which is the games I always go to, I want to see us attack teams. It ain't too much to ask, is it?
No. That's I want us to just be on the front foot more. And I know, people go, it's pragmatism and all that, but that's all I want. That's all I want. I'm not as like Nick was quite scathing about the second half performance against City and all that.
Yeah.
And it's not me being accepting of the fact that, it's City, what do you expect? I'm not saying that. But you expect it a little bit. They're going to come on strong second half. That's all I'd say, especially when you won the number.
You do, but there was almost an acceptance before that game even kicked off, and then the next weekend Wolves beat them, and then the next weekend Arsenal beat them, and they had one shot on target against Arsenal.
This is where I don't agree,
because they were pressed back.
Yeah, this is where I don't agree. West Ham fans, when we're at home to anyone, like I said, that is my mentality.
It's Man City,
it's my mentality. We're at home to someone, we try and beat them. It don't matter if it's Man City. So when we're away, different story, right?
So, Richard, it's quite interesting reading the chat. Sorry if I'm looking like a little bit lost with it all, but in the chat, there's quite a few people saying they're, winning a cup over style of play all day long. It's interesting, isn't it? I wonder if that's
I don't think style matters in cups.
I'm bitter, but I think it's a season. So my question was, I was using 15-16 as a reference season because of the enjoyment factor throughout that whole season. So
it was amazing.
So I said, what is better as a football supporter, bearing in mind that winning the cup was our best moment. It was our best moment in my history as a West Ham fan. But what's better, having a full season of entertainment or not, but getting that moment at the end of the season? I don't know. Do you know what I mean? That's kind of the option that I'm saying. So 15-16 where we won fuck all, but packed full of memories, great nights under the lights. Just absolutely wonderful.
But will any of those memories, probably taking aside the Man United game, last game ever there,
I'll never forget Paqueta's goals.
Will the rest of them memories, but Nick, will the rest of them memories realistically be as big as winning the cup?
No, but
that's the point then. You'll never go on.
But what is another question? Was that win so special because we hadn't done it for 43 years? Yeah, so if we was to win the League Cup this year, would that be the be all and end all now? Would it feel like it did when we beat Prague? It would be great. I want to win more stuff.
No, of course it wouldn't. Of course it wouldn't. No, well, I don't know about that. I think a League Cup, League Cup, I reckon is about the same. FA Cup would be bigger.
Yeah.
I'd love to win a domestic cup.
What about the Europa League, which is a bigger competition? Would we have the same feeling or bigger?
Massive.
That's big.
Oh, that's huge. That's a major 100%. Competition. Yeah.
Look at the quality of the teams in it. The quality of the teams in it already are better than what we had last year. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
So of course, it'd be far greater for me winning that Europa League.
Yeah, it's strange just sort of coming to terms with it because I think it's shit because I don't feel like we should have to choose between this. This is where it gets me.
Yeah,
that's what I'm to have this conversation where we say entertainment isn't important. It's all about winning. It's basically us accepting that we don't need entertainment. And I think it's an entertainment industry. I really do. A lot of people say it's a results-based business. There was a fucking a video floating around. Luke Bailey sent it to me the other day of these. It was a podcast with these 4 guys sitting around saying, I don't know how anyone can support QPR. Who supports teams like that?
Oh, yeah.
They never win nothing. How can they support? This is the modern
like
AFT.
Arsenal geezer.
This is the modern AFTV fan that will only support a team that wins stuff. That ain't why we became West Ham fans.
No.
We didn't.
Yeah. That was about Fulham, wasn't it? Because there was a guy that it was the same video. It was
about QPR.
Was it Arsenal again? Was it Arsenal?
No,
again?
it weren't them. It was 4 different fans of different.
Right.
But that was like the AFTV generation. Fucking idiots.
But
they was basically
that one,
disrespecting all the fans, saying, "How can anyone support that team? They're a joke. I don't get it. I can't get it through my head."
But that mentality is the total misunderstanding of what it is to be a football fan.
Yeah,
because you're picking and choosing your team purely based on who is successful at that time of you falling in love with football, rather than with it being ingrained in you. Now, I know there's all various reasons where people might have to do that, but I called it like the Wenger years. A lot of fans became Arsenal fans because they loved Henry and all that lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like all that team of invincibles around that era. But if you can't understand the tribalism that goes with football, then
I would love to have a conversation.
Look, 1 minute. This is it. Look,
Why
watch.
these must support these teams.
This might be controversial.
Look, this is the audio
I
from
saw
it.
QPR fans today, and I was thinking to myself, why do people support? I would love to have a conversation with QPR fans to actually understand why these must support these teams.
This might be controversial, but I don't think you can proper be into football and like only support that team. You gotta have like a Premier League team, someone that you enjoy in the Premier or something like that. Otherwise, 'cause,
100%.
you know what I mean? It's like I can't be.
This is what we're dealing with now, and this
They're
is
all
what we're,
agreeing.
and this
They're
is
all
and this,
agreeing.
but this is what we're fucking arguing with, because now we've won a cup. We've won a
Fucking
cup.
mugs.
But this is what. But this is what I mean. But that's not. That is like that is a big portion of Arsenal fans are like that, aren't they, John? They became.
Unfortunately, mate. I think a big fan. A lot of the Premier League bigger teams have fans like that because the Premier League is such a global.
Fucking embarrassing.
It is embarrassing.
Really embarrassing. Who was that geezer? Who was that geezer on AFTV? You know, the host Robbie actually said you can't say that. It was about Fulham because he said virtually verbatim.
He slags everyone. That was Ty. He slags everyone.
How can anybody support Fulham? They've never won anything. Is that why you go and support a fucking team? Because of what they've won? In which case, you don't have the same sort of football feelings that I do and that you two do, right? It's a deep love. It ain't looking at the trophies and deciding, oh, they've won a lot of trophies, I think I'll fucking support them, right? Yeah. It's a family thing. It grows up with you. It's all that sort of stuff. You know, it ain't on a surface level. It's deeper with us and everybody in the chat.
Yeah, I know, and that's what it is, and I do get it. And like we're going back to what you said earlier on, going back to what you said earlier on, I do get it. You know, I do understand. Yeah. Listen, that was probably our finest moment, my finest moment supporting the club. But there is nothing else about last season that you will ever want to remember.
No,
not really. There is nothing else. No. Nothing else about that season. Whereas 15-16 is just jam packed full of wonderfulness. You know, we enjoyed that whole experience. So what I was trying to say is, why should we have to choose? Is what I'm trying to say.
We shouldn't have to choose.
No, you shouldn't. You shouldn't.
Why should you have to choose?
You shouldn't have to choose. But then when you look at, you know, Mourinho when he was at Chelsea, Conte when he was at Chelsea and Spurs, you know, their pragmatism, especially Mourinho when he first came to the Premier League. His pragmatism was lauded, wasn't it? It was like worship, you know. So
that
I know
was a
that
good moment.
Years ago, but you know.
Alkmaar with 4 nails was a great moment, wasn't it, last season?
Yeah, it was. It was.
But the league, I'm struggling to remember. I went to Fulham. That was a good day out, but we scraped that with an own goal. What did we do after that? Won a few games after that, didn't we? We done all right. But up until that point, up until that Fulham game last season was awful. And if you look at who we actually beat, it was all the crap teams. Right.
Yeah.
All the not crap teams. That's mean. I mean the lower teams.
Yes,
right?
Look, I do think that it's testament to how good our squad is. That the differences in the differences when we play in these European competitions. Look, we beat Fiorentina in the final, but you couldn't probably say that we was the best team. We didn't perform very well in that final.
No.
But apart from that, you know, whenever we come up against the majority of opposition that we do face, even in this competition now in our group, we're far and away the better team. And I know Brighton have struggled. I know Aston Villa have struggled. But I think that the way Moyes sets up, which is with a very defensively stern kind of way, our flair individuals have got enough to just destroy these teams. And we blow them off the park.
It's good for
and we
Europe.
do.
The way we play is good for Europe,
It's
right? And I
really-
don't mind playing it in Europe, right?
For inferior European teams.
I don't mind playing it in Europe. It's all right because cup games to me are a means to an end. As long as you win, that's all that matters. League games are a different matter to me. I want to see us go at teams, especially at home, right? Listen, we can win any cup game any which way. I don't care.
Yeah. No. I agree. With cups, it is different. But I was talking about the whole season. Anyway, look, let's move on to the next question. Mickey, thanks for fucking causing trouble.
Get back to cleaning that chimney, you little scrote.
Right. I'll tell you what. There is a question here from Alec Bassindale, who's not very well at the moment.
Oh, isn't he?
So he says, "Evening, lads." He says he's well aware he's a bit late to submit the question. He's been to Tenerife and he's picked up a virus and he's lost his voice. His question is, does anyone else feel that West Ham and or Premier League football is bigger in terms of draw, atmosphere and passion than the national team? I look at England games as an inconvenience to our season. What do you and the viewers think?
Well, way bigger.
I lasted 10 minutes in the game that Bowen was starring in. I couldn't do it. It was fucking bored the tits off me. Honestly, my attention span went. I was like, I can't.
The only England games I watch are like I don't even watch the group games at tournaments. I watch like the first knockout round onwards in tournaments. I don't watch qualifiers. I don't watch friendlies. They bore me shitless.
Yeah. How about yourself, John?
Well, I've always had this. I've always asked people the same question. Would you rather your team won the league?
Wait, whoa. This is a good segue.
What?
Sam from Las
lads,
Vegas.
hope you're all doing well. Tried having a good weekend without no football on. Bit of a fucking joke. Feels like it's been about the 5th international break since the season started. Fucking hell. But yeah. Right.
Does actually.
I was at a family barbecue the other weekend with my brothers. This question came up. And I'm the only one who gave this answer, but I got called a bit of a wrong un for it. So the question was, would you rather England win the either Euros or World Cup, or your team to win the FA Cup? Obviously, I turned around and said I'd rather see West Ham win the Carabao Cup than fucking England win a World Cup, and I got called a bit of a wrong un for it. So I just want to know your opinion of it, really. Personally, I'm picking West Ham all fucking day long, but not everyone thinks like me. But keep up the good work, boys. Love the show. Nice one. Cheers.
Cheers, Sam. Right, John, do you want to finish your point?
Sam.
Yeah, so it's similar to what I would say, really. I have an emotional draw to England. Of course I do, the national team. I love watching England, not friendlies. I don't watch friendlies, but when they qualifiers and games, I watch them. I'm an avid fan of England. And I love supporting England. And I have a passion towards England because I'm born in England. I'm English, right? But I don't have the same emotional pull that I do, which I have for West Ham, which is absolutely ingrained in my every bone and ounce of my body that there is. So
West Ham all day for me.
What?
West Ham all day for me.
Yeah, for me, it's West Ham. And I know that's terrible. Again, why do you have to choose one or the other? But for me, it is the club. It's the club because the club give you constant memories every, 3 times in a month. You've got memories, whether they be good or bad. You rub shoulders with your mates. You rub shoulders with your family. So it's everything that comes with it. You can't. I've been to England matches. I went last season to an England match. I've been to England matches, and they're great. But you don't have the same affinity, in my opinion, than I do with West Ham. So for me, it's going to be West Ham all day long.
Yeah, same for me.
Yeah, and I got pissed off following England around because of that band. I hate that band, and I think they're still going strong at me. Fucking ridiculous. I hate bands, I hate drums, I hate everything at football. Should be about, hardcore fans. Yeah, honestly, play the Great Escape one more time, you fuckers. Ridiculous. So, West Ham all day long for me. But here's a challenge for you, right? Say the Qataris bought us, right? And we end up with the captain of England and 2 other West Ham players in the England team in a World Cup final. Would you take that over a West Ham?
I think that's part. Look, listen, that's part of the problem, right? And I'm going to say that's part of the problem because the fact of the matter is, if we watching England at the moment, you're basically watching fucking Spurs, Arsenal, and Man United players. Yeah, they're going to be lauding it, saying they've won the fucking World Cup and everything else. Whereas, yes, if we had 2 to 3 players in that team, then of course you would, because it would be like West Ham. It would be like West Ham have won the cup for the country. But it comes back to the club thing.
Yeah,
that's So then
imagine
it would
us
be
winning 2 World
different.
Cups. Imagine us winning 2 World Cups. Fucking hell, they might as well
Isn't
give
it-
it to us.
I think I'm right in saying this I might be totally off the mark. I don't know where I've heard it. It might be just saying I've totally made up. But I get the impression that a lot of fans that follow England everywhere are fans of clubs who are probably hard on their luck.
That's
like
right.
Championship League One.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that disrespectfully. I think that might be a little bit different then. But then again, I sort of think, well, although we're in the Premier League, we generally win fuck all. So I haven't all of a sudden swayed my allegiances to England. But
I've become less interested since Southgate got in charge, because especially for me, especially under Moyes, because for me it's like going from Moyes to Southgate, and you're like, give me a fucking break. It's because it's similar. It's similar. He's got an abundance of talent. Probably one of the best groups of players that you could hope for at the moment, Southgate. He really has to choose from.
But please remember where he pulled us from, losing to Iceland and things like that before he came.
Yeah, I know.
It's international football. It is a little
Saved us from
different.
relegation.
Yeah.
No, international football is a little different. You don't have the players week in, week out. You see them once in a blue moon. It is a little different, But anyway.
Yeah. I just think, look, can I ask you all a question?
Go on.
Right, that Euros final against Italy. If he'd have picked Antonio and brought Antonio on at half time, would we have won that?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
He would have fucked them 2 defenders up. They wouldn't have had a clue what to do with him. They wouldn't have had a clue what to do with him.
Yeah, but Antonio's a Jamaican international, yeah?
He is now, but that's why. That's why.
Yeah, because he was on the bench.
The Euros.
Yeah. He should literally have, I mean that would have won us the cup. It would have.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Always needs it, and it just goes to show you always need a West Ham player to do it.
Oh, this is brilliant. This is brilliant. I'm sorry, Nick. We're going to get rid of Moyes. Southgate to replace Moyes.
No, I'll keep Moyes. Honestly, I'll keep Moyes. I can't. That drippy fucker. I can't stand him even more than than testicle face.
Brilliant.
Right, next question.
Okay, right. So I just got to find it. 1 minute.
It's a good point from Trodge. I do agree with this a little bit. Bellingham makes England a little bit more watchable.
Yeah, he's a great player, isn't he? He's a great player.
He's genuinely great. Who's better? Who's better? I know they're different, but who's the biggest star out of him and Rice?
Bellingham.
Why do you keep comparing? Your purpose, you want to compare everyone and everything to Rice. You just want to keep putting knives in Rice's back. That's all you're doing.
Knives.
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
Fuck me. Where's that gone? I've lost the message.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Hang
Sorry
on,
about
1 minute.
the message.
Hang on. Oh no, I've got it. Don't worry, everyone.
Go on in.
Let's put my glass. I can't fucking read. Can't read these comments. It's driving me mad.
This is.
Nick, Gary,
this
John, and the rest of the crew. My name is Leah, and I'm based in Finland. I'm probably one of a handful of West Ham fans out here. Finland is more of a Liverpool country for historical reasons, and most people here would know very little about the Hammers. I've recently discovered your channel and absolutely love the daily ramble and brain dumps, so that's been great. Please keep it up. My question is a little different and perhaps away from the football itself. For me, as an international fan, the appeal of West Ham is not really the football, especially if you go by the low block style of play we had this season. So rather, I'm fascinated by the fan culture, the grassroots nature and authenticity of the fan base.
Yeah.
And indeed the Cockney accent too, if you will. So having said that, with the move to the London Stadium and combined with more and more people from your traditional fan base moving away from East London into other parts of London or Essex, have you guys observed a shift in the demographic breakup of the fan base? And how do you feel about the prospect of West Ham potentially becoming an international brand with followers all around the world, who aren't part of your local community, much similar to AC Milan or Manchester United, if there ever comes such a day. Do you look forward to seeing such a day, or rather you can't help but feel in two minds about it? So give us your honest opinion. Thanks again. I'm going to order my Moyes out mug, and come on, you eyes.
Brilliant question. This sounds like it needs a political answer. So Gary, over to you.
Yeah, listen, right. I think every West Ham fan is equal, no matter where they are. I always have done. We've got huge following. Not huge on the compared to like the big Man United and all that. You go to India, for instance, there's bloody Liverpool everywhere, right?
Yeah.
But we do have quite a good following around the world. I think the Premier League
Ghana's
is the
claret
most
and blue now. Ghana's
claret and blue. We do have the Premier League is the most watched league in the world. So it's lovely, I think, to see fans, especially people who like you, who kind of get into the culture and kind of try to understand the background. Same as Danny, Danny and Mercedes when they came over. They don't just latch onto the club. They sort of understand the club. And I really like that. So the demographic has changed. I think, fans move into Essex. I mean, thing is, every time I started off in East London, so did these two, right? We lived in Bow. And when I moved out to Essex, they rebranded that part of Essex East London. Isn't that right, John? We live in East London.
London Borough of,
It moves with us, doesn't it? It moves with us.
Yeah. No, it does. I mean, and the thing is as well, I think it's not so much a demographic of where fans are from, because I think if you are like Danny Martinez and Lawrence in the chat, and you're from abroad and you've chosen to support West Ham, over coming from sort of beyond the last sort of 5 years, 6 years. You need your fucking heads tested, and you're definitely one of us. The demographic change is this new type of fan that we've just spoken about that will latch on to us because we might become a little bit successful, and they're not real fans.
That's when it will change, That's when it will change. Say we were taken over by the Qataris, right?
Yeah.
Then we'd get all those tossers that we just listened to.
100% all day long.
Everyone will be. You'd be going to, you drive past the school. There'll be West Ham shirts, like you see Man City shirts and Chelsea shirts at the moment, and things like that. And I think
Mandy's complained. Why is Gary always at the bottom? There you go.
Oh, thank you, Mandy. But well, it's what Nick does.
He don't like being on top of it.
Go on. Sorry, Gary.
Yeah, no. That's it. Listen, just going back to what I said, I think every fan is equal, especially when you look at people like Dodsey. The amount of miles Dodsey puts in to follow West Ham, and he literally goes to every single game.
Let's face
right?
it, he's a glory hunter.
You look at Chris Miles, who's got 2 season tickets in the Bobby Moore lower and makes his way down every time. And you look at people who fly over. Fuck, how much does that cost? Flying over from Australia, flying over from America, flying over from, wherever
do you know how much
flying
traffic I'll get stuck in driving around the 406?
I know, it's terrible, isn't it? It's terrible. It sometimes takes me, let me tell you, seat from my seat in the stadium to my front door, sometimes it takes me upwards of 55 minutes.
That's a joke.
I know. They should do something about that.
I mean, John, do you remember that experience, John, where your ticket didn't work and you had to go to the ticket office that time?
Oh, fucking joking, didn't you?
I mean, that was bad enough, wasn't it? It's
terrible situation.
Must have been 10 minutes of inconvenience. That's awful. It's awful. But when people sacrifice so much and come over, and especially when they come over and they see us lose, I
think the thing is about a lot of the foreign fans jumping on supporting West Ham, is that they probably want West Ham to resemble the very thing that West Ham resembled in the past and still to some extent resembles. So although they're coming into the club and we could maybe worry that they sort of dilute it, in fact, they probably embrace it because West Ham stand for the very thing
because
they want.
Because of what they were, because of what we were.
You could go back to the Green Street films and all that stuff, but I'm telling you, they want it to be as raw as that. I used to work for a Danish firm, and I took a few Danish blokes to West Ham, and they absolutely love watching West Ham.
Yeah.
They fell in love with it because of the grittiness of it, the reality of it. And although we've been in the London Stadium for a few years now. We was in the Premier League at Upton Park for a long time.
Yeah.
But that stadium had a sense of grit about it. You know what I mean?
It was spit and sawdust. It was.
It had an air of menace for away fans,
Yeah.
right? It did.
Yeah.
It did. Yeah.
And I think that they want West Ham to remain the very thing that they've chosen the club for. And a lot of that comes from the fan base, which is why I think a lot of the overseas fans, and I've repeated myself here, so I do apologise, but they take on the sort of, they embody it, they embrace it. They don't want it to change. They don't want it to.
I think they're like us, right? It's like if I was going to select a German team to watch because of my background and because of the fact I support West Ham. If I was to move to Germany tomorrow and find a local team, I would not be supporting Bayern Munich. Not in a fucking million years. I'd probably pick Frankfurt or something like that. Just the bar. No, what I'm saying is the bar.
You'd have Harry Kane in the back of your Bayern Munich stuff.
No, but you wouldn't, John. You actually wouldn't. And I think this resonates. I think if you're used to supporting an underdog, you know, it's an old adage with West Ham and with a lot of not just West Ham, but anyone that's not successful. And I think that's. Football itself is a good life lesson, you know. It is, you know, especially when you support a proper team, which is what we are. It's mostly shit, but you're loyal, you stick at it, you keep working hard, and you appreciate the good times.
Yeah, football football should reflect real life. Yeah,
should reflect real life.
Ups,
That's
downs,
what it should do.
not all ups.
No, and you really enjoy the good times. You really enjoy the good times.
Look at how those little bitches started going off on Arsenal fan TV when they fucking dropped out of the top 6 for a couple of seasons. I mean, my God, you thought the world, you know, we've been relegated. We've done all sorts, right?
Yeah.
It was interesting before the City game because where I go in, I'm right near the away fans and they let you mix before the game. And I might have brought it up, I don't know. But I remember talking to a couple of Man City fans in their mid to late 50s and they was adamant with this comment that they sort of said, we miss the shit times. We've won it all now. We sort of missed the Gillinghams and you know when they went down to like League One as it was then, like the third tier of English football, not so long ago. They miss it. They miss that. People go, no, but I'm telling you, people go, you're mad. But you know, I understand what they're getting at. You miss the grittiness, the reality of it. You know, it's why I'm not.
So many Man City fans are disconnected with Man City now.
Yeah, but the point. Let me tell you something, and people go mad when I say this. I'm not all about the Premier League. I'm not a big fan. The Premier League and all this spit and glory and all that is great. But if we got relegated, I'd still support the club, and that's the thing.
Yeah, so would I. I just wish, you know, there were quite a lot of fans who decided to abandon the club when we moved to the London Stadium, right? And look, I wish they would have realised that it was just it was a great building. It's like a church to us. The
going for a week,
Upton Park, but it was just a building. It was the people inside that building that made it what it was, and that includes those people who stopped going. Right? I wish they had come back, you know, because they were valuable. They were valuable. They were what made the other place menacing. They were what made the other place ferocious and intimidating. And there's still some of that at the London Stadium. But it ain't as much. It has to be the right day, the right atmosphere, the right opposition, the right tackle to go in for it to spark off, you know, for it to spark off.
Yeah, when it's there, isn't it? Yeah. I remember West Ham United history. One of the best away banters I had was when we lost 6-0 at Oldham. Yeah,
I remember that. I was there. That was just hilarious, John.
I remember going to Everton away, and I'm sure we lost 5-0. And we was in the away end, obviously, right? And we started singing, let's pretend we scored a goal. And we celebrated every goal, every fake goal, like we really scored a goal.
I know. It was fantastic. Doing the conga, being fucking getting slaughtered and doing the conga. The thing at Oldham that was funny, I'll never forget it. I've never seen it anywhere else because they had a scoreboard behind the goal that was made up behind us at the back of the stand. That was made. It was open terrace and it was raining, and it was made up of a matrix of light bulbs. And when they scored. What's he done?
I think he's missed.
Oh, he's mashed his toe up. I reckon he's kicked his toe up on a door frame. I hope so. I hope he's done that because that's fucking pain, isn't it? That's proper pain. Yeah.
Cunt of a dog.
But that was brilliant. Watching every goal that went in, it flashed up goal, right? And
fuck?
Every time a fucking torrent of coins just threw at the ball. There's like hundreds of them at the ball, and
you heard me
the
throw
light
the
bulbs
dog
are
out.
going ping, 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 ping.
You heard me throw the dog out the room earlier on. He's left that fucking buffalo horn outside the door. I've just fucking trod on it.
Ah, brilliant. Did it go through your foot?
That's a fucking buffalo horn. It's gone fucking through me foot.
I was hoping you'd mash up your toe on the door frame or something. Yeah.
Oh, fuck, that really hurts.
Quick question for you. As the previous caller was phoning in from Finland.
Hate that dog.
Yeah.
Name, I can only think of two, so I'm going to say we've only ever had two. The two Finnish players that West Ham have had.
Janu Tihinen, yeah, and Jussi Jääskeläinen.
Well done.
Yeah.
How did you get Tihinen? How did you get that? Well done.
I would have gone to Heenan and for some reason struggled on Jääskeläinen.
Really?
Yeah.
Tihinen would have been the harder one.
I know, yeah.
See, I'm in the mood. I reckon in this mood, I could beat Nigel on a quiz.
I don't think you could.
Maybe not. Maybe not. He's overrated, isn't he? He's overrated.
Yeah.
Leaves his own hype, doesn't he? Next question.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Where are we? there's more come through whilst we've been online. Hang on 1 minute. I haven't screened this one, so who knows what we're going to hear.
Who is it?
Well, here we go.
Hey fellas, how's it going? Arnie here from Copenhagen.
Arnie.
I have a question for you. If we get bought by like some super rich owners and we start to become a regular powerhouse team, is it gonna change your feelings about the excitement of the club? Because I'm not sure how I would feel. I actually kind of like that we won a cup and you don't do it every year. I just want to get your point.
Similar question, isn't it? Similar question.
Have a nice evening.
Yeah.
Thank you, Arnie. Well, that's the proof there, isn't it? You know, it's kind of. I think people that necessarily support West Ham is it going to be success at all costs now? I mean, look, there's a part of me that thinks, you know, we sold our soul, we left Upton Park, you know, we can't stop now. We're on the train, we've got to keep going. But it does scare me a little bit, you know, that feeling that we felt after 43 years. That feeling that we got, that release. If it was every year and we turned into Man City and you got fucking Neymar and Messi.
That's what you crave, Nick. You always go on about progression.
It is. No. I want good football. That's the thing. I am conflicted about it though. I am, because I'm worried. Would I like to be the biggest team in London so I had bragging rights over Arsenal fans and Tottenham fans? Yeah. Do I think it would take away from what West Ham are? Probably 100%. It probably would. You know.
Listen, we've got to realise that when a club like us, if it was to be taken over by the Qataris, a bunch of other new fans would come in. But that means it's twice as important for the existing fans to stay behind and preserve it, and that includes you lot, right? That includes Arnie. That includes the chap from Finland we just had on, right?
Yeah,
you cannot. You know, and because if us lot just walked away from the club, for instance, and everyone did, like some people just walked away from going to home games when we moved into London Stadium, that dilutes the fan base. Don't let the fan base be diluted. That's what I would say. I mean, yeah, we're going to die off, but hopefully, if our kids are trained up properly, they'll carry it on in the same vein, you know?
Well, I think that is what it is, though, isn't it? Well, your kids do get trained. Like Freddie's trained, Ben's trained. You bring them in, you train them in the art of fucking attention, because
exactly 1 in 1 out.
Yeah, but
or one in two in 1 out, preferably.
But you say that, and we see it as the norm that our kids support the club we support.
Yeah,
but he might be watching, so I'm sorry, but I've got a friend who supports Arsenal. One of his boys supports Man United, and one supports West Ham.
I'd never allow it.
Something's gone wrong now.
That would never happen in my house.
It would never happen with me. I'll tell you what. There was once when Reece was kind of saying, I might support Liverpool. I said, that's fine. If you never want to go to a game, you support Liverpool, because I ain't fucking taking you, right? Yeah. And lo and behold, he became a West Ham season ticket holder. You know, because if he'd have persisted, I would have had to, you know, I'd have had to do the nuclear option, which would have been to seal his bedroom shut with a wall full of tellies playing fucking 24-hour West Ham videos of our greatest moments, you know, which is not a long video, let me tell you. So it'd be, you know, it'd be over and over again.
It's getting better. It's getting better. I think we're getting more moments now. Like you said earlier on, you are right. We are a home is. with the Olympics, I weren't talking about the stadium earlier on, but it's all about the reason that the new stadium doesn't compare to Upton Park is because of the memories we made at Upton Park. And we are starting to make memories at this place. It ain't as good as Upton Park, it never will be, but it's fine. I think it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it.
I think, look, let me just say, right, that night against Sevilla, that compares with the great nights at Upton Park, right? It ain't better than, no way, because nothing can be better than that last game at Upton Park, or the Ipswich semi-final, or I've been told, the 1975-76 semi-final against Frankfurt. You know, there were some fucking amazing nights at Upton Park. But, yeah, you're right, you do make new ones. And that's the special one for me so far, Sevilla.
Okay, right.
That was magical.
That was probably one of our best performances as well, because I think Sevilla were the kings of that competition, weren't they?
They were, and never been beaten by a British club.
Oh fuck me, where is it? WhatsApp kills me.
What's he said? What's a Hammer said? This is my neighbour down at Wales. Some might say making our kids support West Ham is child abuse. No, it's a lesson in real life. You are teaching them to support a club that reflects life's ups and downs. Right?
Steve says, my son's West Ham. He's never thanked me for it.
Life don't appear on a gold platter, as we know. It don't appear on a gold platter. I'm pretty sure that those Arsenal supporters who love trophies in their little hobby of pretend supporting Arsenal, that they have ups and downs in their daily life and at work and stuff like that, right?
Yeah. Right. Here we go. So, 1 minute. This is Alfie, young Alfie.
Hello, Nick. Hello to everyone.
Not West Ham Online, Alfie.
You probably know me by now.
I won't play his message.
My question for you lads tonight is basically, obviously, a lot of people are either Moyes in, Moyes out, but there are a lot of people that have very harsh opinions on where they sit. Me, I'm Moyes out. I always will be. I just want to see a different style of football, and I want to see our club go in a different direction. Yeah. But what do you guys think, genuinely, based on how we've been playing this season, at the end of the season, if we have a decent league finish and maybe a good European run and a few good cup runs, do you generally think or get concerned the fact that David Sullivan might sit down and look, hang on a minute, you know, you had one bad season, which we still got a trophy with. Let's think about renewing his contract. Let me know what you guys think. Good evening and have a good show, lads. Thank you very much.
Go on, John. You can say that one. Cheers, Alfie.
Cheers, Alfie.
I'd be shocked if he did that. Purely because, as we've said, Steiden must be. Whether he knows something or they know the next move.
There's something in the pot. There's something in the pot.
I've just got a feeling. I've got a feeling there is. For many reasons, because obviously, you know, the players he's brought in, the players he's been rumoured to be looking to bring in, and also, you know, tying Bowen down to that contract. You know, the funny thing is about that contract, which I only thought about literally just now, actually, is that you'd think the manager would be sitting with Bowen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that stinks. Not stinks, wrong phrase, but to me, that maybe.
It's a subliminal message.
Bowen didn't mention Moyes once in that little ramble that he came out with. It was all about the project.
It's not even that. It's not even that, Nick. It's the fact that Moyes, as the manager, you think he would be in on that photo. I just felt that.
I think Moyes knows about whatever plan it is as well. I think he's aware of it.
I think that's why Moyes has gone full turbo, full 100% Moyes this year, because I think he knows it is his last year, and he's going, if this is my last year, I'm going to fucking do it my way.
That's right.
And the only thing that could happen, going back to Alfie's point, is there are other plans afoot. I think there are. I'd lay money on it. But Moyes could fuck it all up for Tim Steidten and other people by winning a trophy. What I mean is he could give them a decision to make. Then I don't think at the moment. I think the decision's probably already taken. To be quite honest, I
think had we lost that final, he would have been fired.
It'd have been gone.
Yeah.
Trod says here, Moyes don't handle contract stuff. I don't mean he should have handled it and negotiated it. What I mean is, I thought we would have wanted to be in on the picture of it.
It's always away,
wouldn't it?
Because it's an existing player. It's It's Moyes' player. It's Moyes' signing, and we know he didn't want to sign, and then suddenly he signs for 7 years, and then Steiten's in the picture.
And do you not think we're seeing it? Do you not think we're kind of seeing the start of a changing of the guard a little bit? Because Normally, David Moyes was the face, the voice, and everything else of West Ham whenever anything team related was happening.
Yeah.
Now it's Tim on his
Timothy
little
Slighty,
private,
yeah.
Tim on his private jet, Tim doing that. You know, I think it's changing. It's changing now. It is. You know, and I'm happy. I think we can all agree Tim starting is probably the most exciting thing to happen to West Ham in a long time.
He is, and I'll tell you what. There was a comment to my video yesterday from Razor when he said, I can't wait till West Ham appoint a new coach, and therein lies the something I really love the sound of. It will be a coach, not a manager.
Yeah,
that's the model.
Yeah.
Every picture tells a story. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah, no, that's right. That's right. What's Mr. Mace saying? Mr. Mace being controversial. Where is he?
West Ham, Mr. Mace says, let's not pretend West Ham fans have got more morals than anybody else.
Yeah.
People who postured about the World Cup human rights would love it if the Qataris bought us. Old fan base had morals.
Yeah, I think there'd be a part of me that would be excited. Going back to what I said, because I'm torn on this topic. And would I be excited? Because I'd be excited on one hand, and then I think the reality would probably hit a little bit for me. Because I mean, look at me.
Yeah.
Look, the proof's in the pudding. I mean, we've just won a cup, and I'm kind of clinging on to what West Ham were. I think I always will. Yeah. And I think that could change us irreversibly. But look, it doesn't. If you look at what's happening at Newcastle now, right? You look at them in the Champions League, and you look at the way they're doing it. I mean, when they got that win against PSG, it was two Geordie lads that scored two of the goals. I know it's not always going to be like that, but they're not doing it the PSG way. They're not doing it the Man City way. They seem to be building slowly, intelligently. Yeah. They're not losing they're not losing the identity of Newcastle just yet. The fans are fucking I know, but the fans are fucking loving it. You know,
of course they are at the moment. Because it's better than what they've had. They've been through seasons of getting relegated and getting promoted, and just about staying up and stuff like that. This is brilliant for them. This is, and I like the Geordies as well. But I think in answer to that question, look, you know my politics, and I ain't going to talk about politics, right?
Please don't.
But no, I won't. But no, it always ends in disaster. But I've got to say, Mace, I would have issues. I'd still go and watch West Ham because it's what I do, but I would have issues with it. Yeah,
it wouldn't sit right with you. But
it wouldn't. It wouldn't sit right with me at all.
From West Ham in the same breath.
I do love West Ham, so it's a real dilemma for me. You know, would I want to deprive myself and my kids of like West Ham just because I don't like the owners? I've never liked the owners, Mace. I've never liked the owners. I don't like the current owners.
Can I ask so? And I know this is different. I know a lot of people have got the issue with the blood money with the Middle East and everything else. But if people, and I fall into this category, I didn't protest. But if we feel that strongly about not losing what we are and everything else, obviously we bought into the dream of moving to this Olympic Stadium because it was going to be the next step to making us a massive club. That's the reason we fell in love with it.
I did.
No, but what I mean is, no one protested. We all bought into it.
Apart from Nigel and a few,
Yeah, you can't go half in. And the thing is, we all bought into that dream. Deep down, I think we're sick of. I think that's what it is. We probably are sick of being, the smug bastards from Arsenal, and we'd love that. We'd love to have bragging rights. John, you would over Arsenal, wouldn't you? Imagine that.
100%, mate. For me, my hatred of Arsenal knows no bounds, and the more and more these videos that they produce, just highlights it even more for me. But I think Gary's right. I'm not that political, but even me, if we had Saudi owners or Qatari owners, I'd find it hard to accept. But I would have to accept it because I can't not watch West Ham. So it's not my moral; it's just my loyalty.
Do I want to be someone that sits at home and pats myself on the head for being a good, standing by me, my beliefs and everything else, or do I want to do what is my favourite pastime of my life, West Ham?
But Gary, our current ownership isn't a model of fucking,
read Keith's comment there. Look,
exactly, it's more than dubious. It's more than dubious. So the fact of the matter is, look, I'm of the opinion. I'm of the opinion that the people that own the club. And this is why I don't feel anything about fucking mugging them off. They're they're looking after the club for us on our behalf. They're pumping money into it. It will always be our club.
Yeah.
So if they come in, it's down. No, I don't.
I just call it a hobby, by the way. It ain't a hobby. It's a fucking lifestyle. West
It's a
Ham.
lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle.
Listen. It is our religion. It's something that we are.
It is. It's the only religion I've got.
It's our fanatical religion. We're fanatics about it. You know.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. And I think you know, it's important to us. I mean, I don't know what I mean. I know I moan. I do, but
it would be hilarious.
But you know what? I don't know. It would feel like my life for as long as I can remember. West Ham has been a huge part of it. Yeah. And I don't know. I always say even. You know, I sulk and I say I'm not going to go and I'm not going to do this. I can't. But no, but what I mean is
really.
Yeah, no, I know, but we all do it. We all do it to a degree. Maybe not as extreme as me. But
I'll just go.
No, but what I'm saying is, I couldn't imagine my life without West Ham in it. I mean, even if you're not there, you're living it. You're watching. You know, you kind of. I talk about it all day.
Yeah, it would be priceless, though. It would be priceless. It would be. I don't know. It'd be worth going through the pain and the angst just to win a Premier League or a Champions League before Tottenham.
Imagine.
Wouldn't that be? Well, just for Tottenham? Wouldn't it be? But just for Tottenham? Fuck Arsenal.
Can I ask you? Funny? Can I ask you? Right, just as a sick bastard thing. How long would you like Tottenham to remain top of the league before they collapse?
Oh, I'd like
2 months. 2 months?
No, the weekend before the final week of the season.
No, I want them dropping out the top four, though. That's the thing.
The thing is the conversations around Tottenham are everywhere, and I mean everywhere.
And chose the wrong team. And chose the wrong team. He ain't going to win nothing.
The point is,
they'll buy him. They'll buy him once
they haven't really played. They've played Arsenal, who are missing a few players at an off day, but I don't think they've played many big teams, really, have they? I mean, Luton.
No, they haven't.
I think they'll get caught out. I think they'll get caught. They'll get caught out in a few games.
Carried away as per usual.
I'll tell you what. And another thing, according to Gary from Romford, right? And this is not according to Gary from Romford, but using his phrase. The one thing that really pisses me off when you hear Spurs, Arsenal, Man United, Liverpool fans talking, they tend to look down their nose at us as though we're the poor relations. Well, sorry, mate. We're fans of a football club who've probably got as much money as you, if not more, right? It's your football club that's got more money than our football club, not you're richer than us. Yeah. And the way they use that as sort of interchangeable, we're much richer than we, you know.
Yeah, no,
it's
but do you know what? They talk about bigger than us, maybe worldwide. Maybe they've got bigger worldwide supporters. But when we won that cup, we had 100. We had over 100,000. We had over 100,000 fans out in Prague, and then they done the parade the next day. The unofficial count I saw was 140,000 were at that parade. Now I am sorry, you will not find a better supported club in this country than West Ham. If we were to get any semblance of success, we've got a massive sleeping fan base, huge.
I'll tell you what we've got people who go to football. Right? We haven't got a load of fucking, you know, like those idiots that were talking earlier who probably never go to a game or rarely go to a game. We've got people who actually go to watch games of football.
Yeah.
What do you think about this? This is a question and a half.
Passive and active fans, right?
So I'm going to Frankie James. So I'm going to say, would you rather Spurs?
No.
It'd have to be. I live in fucking Enfield. It'd have to be Arsenal. I'm sorry.
For me, it'd be Spurs.
Spurs. No, John, come on. Come on, have a word with yourself. Listen, we put up with Arsenal before. It'd just be another league to them. With Spurs, that'd be insufferable.
I would move.
Yeah, he'd have to move. He'd have to move out of Enfield.
I'd move. You know, I couldn't cope with that. Right, so we've done that one. 1 minute. Where are we?
We're on hour and a half, by the way.
Okay, all right. Should we do one more?
Yeah, let's do one more.
I'll tell you what. For
all those tonight, it's been relaxed.
That have sent messages in. Well, it was until you got all antsy earlier. Right, hang on.
I didn't.
Hang on, Alfie.
That was you reading my body language wrong.
Hang on.
Changing the question to suit his answer, Gal.
Exactly. That's exactly what he did, John. Did you notice that? Yeah.
We'll do a poll in a minute and
it's like the London Stadium. It was a better
I made it better.
Style of football or the 2016.
I'll tell you what. Brace yourselves. I've got to give him a backing track because he always has a backing track.
Who is
Go
it?
on.
Brace yourselves for this one. 1 minute. Hang on.
Is it
What did I play
Mikey?
last time? That's it.
Oh, it's Nigel. This is Nigel's theme tune.
All right, lads, and everyone at Claret and Booze. Hammers Mike here. First up, happy 2-year anniversary for last week, and hope there's many, many more to come.
Yeah.
Now, my question is, if David Moyes won us some silverware this season again, and qualified us for Europe, or even both, would that warrant him a renewed contract at the end of the season? And would it change your negative thoughts about him completely? Me,
Macho Man in the background.
I don't give a shit what he won us. I'd still want him gone. Can't stand his tactics and his face. I just can't stand his face.
Stand his face.
You know, his face reminds me of bathtub fingers. When you lie in a bath for too long,
bathtub fingers. Yeah. Bathtub
you
fingers.
look at your fingers after, and they're all white and power, wrinkly, and old and ugly as looking. That's what his boat reminds me of. Now, finally.
So Mikey
word on
doesn't
the
find him
fans.
sexually attractive. That's what you say.
I understand. We're sitting 7th now. All us fans are happy where we are in the league, our position. However, all these fans that are tonguing and sniffing right up David Moyes' Clyde tunnel,
True.
yeah, they need to calm down a bit. All these same fans that are desperate for a piece of his battered sausage need to calm down a bit. We're doing well, but there's a long, long way to go. A long way. We're only 8 games in. So let's just wait to January or December to see where we really are and where this season is heading for us, yeah? Alright, thanks again anyway, lads. Baked potatoes. Laters.
Cheers, Mikey. Right, so...
Hang on.
Go on.
Why did he have to explain the Cockney rhyming slang at the end? Does he not know we are proper Cockneys?
No, he don't.
Baked potatoes, laters, like we didn't know.
But yeah, I kind of I get what he's saying there completely in terms of not getting carried away at the moment. We are only 8 games in. But the thing is, I think he knows that on here anyway. I think he knows that we are all realists. Do we want this to carry on and continue and us to fucking be in 7th place and 6th place at the end of the year? Of course we do. You know, and win a cup. I've always said since the start of the season, and it's getting longer and longer into that season now. I mean, if we go and beat Villa, I'm going to be out of answers because I don't understand how playing this way can.
It's because we've got a great set of players. That's it.
But this is what I mean. I don't understand how you can play the way that we're playing and for it to be so successful because it's like breaks. It's breaks on foot. It's breaks.
We've got Alvarez.
Football.
We've got great defenders. We've got Emerson. We've got Bowen. I mean, we've got a great team. That's how we're doing it. We can play any fucking which way with that set of players and we'd still be successful, right? It doesn't need to be like this. And Kudos has got to get a chance. And I still don't think he's going to get a start for several weeks, right? If at all. Mavropanos ain't going to get a chance. Not for any time soon. I'm pretty, listen, if we won a cup this year and we got into Europe next year, of course Moyes would deserve a contract. It doesn't mean he should get one.
No. Yeah, that's the thing. I think that's where I agree. So if he's to win a trophy, it does depend. So, and I couldn't argue with that. I physically couldn't. I mean, it would. Yeah. The thought of having to watch another year of the same style of football would fucking irritate me no end. But if he won another trophy, you would have to say to yourself, well, look, he deserves another contract. But that depends on where the club's going. If there's new owners coming in, if there's more money coming in, then he ain't the man to take you forward anyway. He's not. Yeah. You don't put him into that sort of situation. And do you know what? We said it last year. We said it at the final. The right time for him to have gone, because if he'd have gone at that point, he'd have gone a fucking hero.
It would have been. Everyone would have loved him forever.
He'd have gone a hero.
Yeah.
I think there comes a point where, unless you're elite like Guardiola or Klopp or Wenger or Ferguson, there comes a point where a manager's life at a club plateaus. You know, there's sort of, you know, so Eddie Howe has done remarkably well, and he's got them into the Champions League, and they'll compete to some extent in the Champions League. But in 2 or 3 years' time, maybe, when the owners want to not just compete, but they want to challenge for winning the Champions League, will they then go out of their way to look for a more elite manager? That's not me being disparaging of Eddie Howe, because I think he's a great coach and a great manager.
Great coach.
But there will come a point when they'll go, can he take us that next step further? So my argument would be with West Ham is if we won the Europa League and qualified for the Champions League, is Moyes... The question should be not whether he deserves a new contract or not, is do you think he's cut out to manage in the Champions League? Do you think that's beyond him? Because then you'd have to bring a whole new caliber of players.
I think he is. I think he is cut out for it. I really do. I think he's learned a lot in his career. No, not Moyes. I thought you were talking about Eddie Howe.
Sorry, I'm talking about Moyes. If we qualified for Europa,
I sat up there. I thought Nick was like backing Moyes in the Champions League.
I thought you were talking about Eddie Howe not being the man for Newcastle as they get bigger.
I think the problem is, right, the problem is with the Champions League is Moyes, I think, would see it like the Premier League. I think he knows we've got, compared to the teams we're playing against, we've got better teams than them.
Could you imagine him in the Champions League playing up against them fucking teams every week?
At home to PSG. Imagine what he'd do at home to PSG.
Fucking hell. Everything a bit, well, it's PSG. It's Man City. You don't expect to beat this lot. It's fucking so-and-so.
He'd play with 3 central defensive midfielders against Paris Saint-Germain.
I know.
Yeah. It's a good point from Lewis. You can't compete in the Champions League if you only play 13 players.
No, you can't. No.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I'm going to sort of go back to this point. I mentioned this when I was on that show the other day with Tommy and that on the West Ham network, and they got to talking about Soucek, and I said, coming to Aston Villa, I said, look, we need to get Kudus in the team. I don't think we need 4 central midfielders. I accept that Soucek has been playing much better this season. Although even he scored a goal the other day, but in that first half, he made 8 passes with a 33% success rate. So I kind of contest his scoring again. I contest the fact that he's as effective as what people are saying he is. But yes, he's scoring goals. I said our best midfield 3, without any shadow of a doubt, is Alvarez, James Ward-Prowse, and Paqueta. That is what it should be. Anyone shouldn't be arguing that. And then they went, but how can you drop him? And I said, well, this is what we've got. We've got to get this out of our fucking mind. You know, this closed 11 that David Moyes creates, where if Soufal gets dropped, he throws his toys out the pram. Fabianski, whoever it is, he's created this situation where it's like should it not be a squad game?
Well,
should it not be a squad game?
No elite club has a mentality like that. How can you drop him? Pep will literally drop fucking anyone apart from Haaland.
But it ain't even dropping, Gary. It's rotating.
No, it's rotating. Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. We're setting this mindset that this is the only way you can do it. But like I said earlier, yes, we are doing it with this brand of football, but it's only because we've got such a great set of players. You could do more. Well, you could do anything with that set of players, and you're typically going to do well, right? You could play proper counter attack. You could throw Kudus in there. You get the same results. You might even get better results. You know, and we've got to kind of, I suppose, you remember, like in the past, Man United had come to our place, right? Bore us to fucking tears, nick a 1-0 win, and then you'd have this phrase wheeled out of, if you win when you're playing badly, then it's looking good for the league. I think that's sometimes how we've got to think. You know, when we nick a win and we ain't played well, we've got to think, all right, sorry, John, go on.
No, I agree with you. No, I agree with you. It's like shithousery. Sometimes winning like that is actually quite a good thing.
Yeah. I mean,
I get it, but it's just the boredom of it sometimes. Isn't it?
Mean, Luke gave an example of he's got a relative that was an Arsenal. He's an Arsenal fan, and he went through the George Graham era. And he said he said this guy basically used to go to the bar and not even bother coming out. He wouldn't even go up for the first half, and he'd be in at half time, and he'd just stand there and they'd be saying to him, "You're missing the game." It'd be like, I got up for the last 15 minutes.
1-0 to the Arsenal, wasn't it?
It'd be like, I got up for the last 15 minutes. It's fine. I mean, what the fuck?
What? They never could have got away with it until that was before the back pass rule. So I
know, but this is what I'm saying to you. It should be like entertainment is important. It isn't an entertainment's game, right? We're going to one more call. This is someone called Russ. who's asked for a bespoke mug. He said he wants a teabagging, a Virgil out mug. That's what Russ has said.
Bit harsh, John. Bit harsh.
Hey, Russ here, or RB on YouTube. Just want to share a thought I've been having relatively recently and see what you guys think. I get annoyed by, well, everything really, especially posts and people's opinions, and it's generally the Moyes in guys and girls, but sometimes the Moyes out too. Like there's two definitive ways of playing football: the Moyes way, sit back, defend, counter punch, or possession based. And all of this stuff about we tried possession based last year.
I agree with this, by the way.
And I kind of think we did, but we didn't do it in the right way. We tried to hold on to the ball whilst we still had 11 players in our half, which is asking for trouble. And yeah, so back to the original point. I don't understand why people, and I guess a lot of people have played football, while they think that attacking football is the same as possession football. It really isn't. I'm no tactical genius, but playing attacking football, okay, it often results in you having more possession because teams tend to sit back more. It's about throwing people forward, playing the ball forward, being progressive, playing quickly. And when you've got people forward, you can press high, you win the ball back, and you're immediately in the opponent's third or the opponent's half, and can then play a ball forward, which is entertaining and is attacking, but isn't the possession-based football which people see as the alternative to Moyes ball. I just want to get that out there and see what you guys think.
Yeah,
it's true.
Look, I completely agree with this. Now, and this is what people fucking confuse. This is what they confuse when I talk about changing style. It isn't anything. I don't want to see possession based. You know, to a degree, Man City ball where they're just playing triangles in their own box, holding the ball. I don't want to see that. But what I do want to see is attacking intent, getting players forward. I tell you what, hunting the ball down excites me. When you're out of possession, hunt the fucker down, close the opposition down. I like that. And then spring on the attack, en masse, up and down, and that is attacking football. It really is getting bodies forward. What we were trying to do last season was the most boring, fucking ineffective version of possession-based football. It was defensive possession-based football. It was just a way of us
counter-attacking the world.
It was going from left to right, left to right, back. And the reason for that is, John, you'll agree with this. If you're ever going to have an effective passing, attacking game, players need to be dynamic, because you know why that is? Because you need to pass and move. Fundamentals of football.
Quick,
pass and move. But when you play in the way that David Moyes plays, it's all about your shape. You can't vacate a shape. You can't vacate your shape.
Prime example of that was Leicester when they won the league. Leicester, they had very low percentage possession as an average, maybe something like, I don't know, 30, 38, 40% possession when they won the league, because they was hunting the ball down. They was hunting down impacts. The transitions were always quick. They pass, move, simplistic but effective. And the tippy-tappy stuff will never be West Ham, because we're impatient. The fan base, quite rightly, are impatient. It bores us. Man City bore me. I know that's maybe...
Well, I was going to say, John, the worst game I've watched this season was Man City against Arsenal last week. It was so tedious.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I like, if you're going to talk about a top team, I like the way Liverpool do it, because they're from back to front as quick as they can fucking go.
Arsenal and Man City, good God, it was rubbish.
No, it was. So that's not what I'm saying. All I'm saying is I just don't look. Let's have it straight. We park the bus and we've got amazing talent that basically creates chances and scores goals. And I just think that we're capable of more. But the fact of the matter is, we're in this situation now, and I think it's going. Look, the proof's in the pudding. At the moment, it's going really well. So
that's why the win at Brighton was very good in my eyes. That was very Leicester styly.
That was amazing.
It was clinical. We was clinical. We was cutting. We was dynamic.
I mean that Bowen goal. That Bowen goal in that game.
Oh, mate, the way
the ball from Benny, the control, the finish, And we were so clinical early on in this season as well. We were, and
if you play like that, I've got no problem with it.
No. And the thing is, right? I think the closest we've come to what you're talking about, John, with Leicester, was that 6 months that we had with Lingard. That 6 months that we had with Lingard, we were lethal in transition, weren't we?
You sound like you're going to cry then. You sound like you're going to cry then. Your voice cracked when you mentioned
I know. But we were lethal in transition.
Yeah.
Fuck me. We literally got that ball and bodies flying forward. I mean, and the thing that kills me about that, and this is why it's such a shame what's happened to Fornals. Do you know how fundamental Fornals was in that team?
Yeah, massively.
Honestly, because what Fornals does is he moves the ball forward quickly. Yeah. He does, you know.
You've still seen that in very rarely, but over the last 18 months, at times you still see that movement of the ball very quickly from him when he comes on. He'll do something rapid with the ball, but I'm not sure we'll get back to that.
That's the sort of thing, John. It ain't just the style of football, right? It's the other stuff as well. Like he's clearly just frozen Fornals out. He feels like a spare part at the moment, whereas he was part of an integral part of the team. You know, he does that. He'll do that at a drop of a hat. He's a hard bastard when it comes to players. He should be looking after every player in that squad, not just 13 or 14. And the substitutions, it does me fucking head in. And the second halves, it does me head in.
Razor disagrees. Missing Rodri and a few others was the reason that game was boring, Gary.
Oh, yeah, I know. But it was boring. That's all I'm saying, Razor. It was terrible.
They cancelled each other out. And to be fair, Arsenal, a lot of hate Arsenal. They got that bang fucking on. Because, and I've always said this, They showed Man City they showed them no respect. So Man City, they're a team that like to be on the ball, you know. And Wolves, when Wolves beat them, right? Wolves didn't have massive possession, but they played them. They was getting bodies forward. They were committing bodies forward. So what they were doing was they was giving Man City something to think about on the on the counter attack. You know, they were exposing them. Arsenal weren't giving them a moment in that game, and that's how you play these teams. That's how we need to play fucking Arsenal when we play them.
But that sort of game where you cancel each other out, honestly, I get as much entertainment out of that as I do out of prime Moyes ball.
Yeah, no.
I'm sorry, but I disagree with Razor. I get bored watching City. I do.
Yeah.
I really genuinely do. People think I'm talking bollocks, but I do.
Well, look, Man City, there was some games last season where they were fucking out of this world, and I've never seen a team like them. You know, like when they played Bayern Munich at home in the Champions. Oh, they were different class. I've never seen a team play that. I've never seen 11 world-class players all play at their peak on the pitch at the same time. Wasn't a weak performance amongst them. And they did that 2 home games on the row. I don't know who the other ones were against, John. Can't remember. But they battered Bayern Munich.
Well, I'll take it back. They was good in that game.
Yeah.
That was entertainment.
Right,
that was entertainment.
We've literally gone through them all. This is literally the last message. Now, it's a really good message, but it's not the best quality because he's out and there's a bit of wind noise in places. So bear with it, but the message is right, I think. This is from Matt Rainey.
Hello lads, Matt Rainey here. I just want to do a quick one. Literally got about 7%.
Yeah, ain't quick. He was lying about that, Matt.
Let's hope I can get in. But yeah, no, look, quick one, yeah. I literally thought about this because as much as we're all happy with the Jared Bowen signing his 7 years for West Ham, getting the money he deserves, seems settled down here, did a lovely little 3-4 minute video about his new deal. I'm over the moon. I feel like you guys are, and I feel like the whole fan base is, because he is a very quality player. And I believe that he can take us further, and I feel like we can take him further and all, you know what I mean? But I feel like my point to all this is like, it's much as beautiful keeping English and British lads, but do you feel like we can keep the likes of like Paqueta, like, you know, our foreign, I don't want to say merchandise, in my view, but I want to say more of like our foreign talent, you know what I mean? Can we keep them? Like, it's all nice and lovely having Pai for 18 months and Arnautovic for 2 years, you know what I mean? And Tevez for what, a year or half a year, wherever it was. But it's like, I really want us to, like, you know, really go out there, you know, get the players that we are targeting through Super Tim. But even with the players we got now, like Fornals, Ben Rama, obviously, as we know, there's no entitlement in football. You've got to work your bollocks off to get in the 11 to actually, you know, even make the squad even, you know what I mean? But, like, I feel a bit unfortunate for Cornet. You know what I mean? That injury really fucked him. You know what I mean? And I don't feel like he's going to be in Moyes' plans past this summer. But yeah, like in your opinions, lads, what I'm asking is, do you feel like that, you know, as a club, what we're doing now, like the ethos of the club and everything about us as we speak right now? I understand maybe the end of the season may change things if we were to hypothetically win the Europa or maybe a cup, or, you know what I mean, or do well in them. Like, do you feel like we got the caliber to actually keep these players? Because it's all nice and lovely signing them, but you know, what's the point of signing a 5-year deal if they're going to stay for 5 minutes? But yeah, like over the moon that Bowen signed. I'm really hoping that, you know, Paqueta doesn't go to Man City. I'm hoping Kudus gets more minutes. We can see what he can do, and he can stay. Yeah, I hope we can sort out the Fornals and Benny situation, because I still believe they can still do a job for us. Yeah, cheers, lads. Have a good evening. Thank you.
Cheers, Matt. Look, it was fucking, the wind noise is annoying on that one, but the message is right, and I can't. It resonates with me as well. You know, if you look at, well, like I say, we couldn't tie Rice down. He's a homegrown player, but we kept Bowen. Do you think we can? I mean, obviously we've seen it with Pyatt, as he said. We've seen it with Arnie. Can we keep hold of these? You know, like we used to build this relationship with players, like with Di Canio, for instance, and we all saw her. He's forever loved. You know, Tevez, he was only here 6 months, went to Man City and Man United. He always used to give us a hammers. I'm pretty sure we're probably his favourite British team, Tevez. I reckon we are. You know, Lanzini as well. He's another one. But
yeah.
Are we going to see that anymore, or has the mentality of players changed and they come over from abroad and they've got no affiliation with the club? They don't really allow themselves to get sort of brought into. Are they so self-centered now that all they care about is their own career, and they don't really get the value of having that attachment with fans like they used to?
The DNA of the club is important. The DNA of the club is important to get across to all players, British, overseas, or whatever. You know, Jared Bowen's not a local boy. He loves the club. He loves the club. Pablo Fornals, you know, came over from Spain, under 21 international.
Yeah.
You know, he loves the club, and you can see that's why it hurts him even more that he's not getting in the team there as much. And I think that affiliation of love will come from the fans. So, as much as it's important, we keep the fan base DNA is as important as anything, because it keeps the club DNA afloat. And having players around them, you know, Mark Noble,
good way of putting it, actually. Yeah.
You know, Paqueta, the interesting thing with Paqueta, I think he loves the fans already. Now, people can say it's all an act and all that. He might well move. But how many ex-players have you heard who only spent a short time at the club? They always praise the West Ham fan base. Craig Bellamy, prime example. Tevez, prime example, like you said.
Sebastian Schemmel.
Sebastian Schemmel. Some of these players were only here 2 minutes, I agree.
Yeah.
But they do not talk highly enough about the club, and that comes from the fan base, because the fan base make the club, and the club welcome, and the fan base welcome players in. And if you're a player that gives it all, you will be loved. And some players, especially the overseas players, Benny, look at Benny last year. We loved him last year. He fell back in love with the club, I think, to some extent, because we saw that he was trying and all that, and he was a bit more successful in some ways. So the DNA does need to stay in the club. And it's interesting what you said about Newcastle with the two Geordie boys, Longstaff and Dan Burn. It's important to keep it as long as you can, but maybe one day it will fall out. You know, it will just, I don't know. But yeah, look, players love this club, and it's because of the fans.
I mean, I'd say that's one thing, Gary, just before you go, that's one thing that we haven't got yet in this stadium. I don't think we've had a foreign player fall in love with West Ham yet in this new stadium.
I don't know.
I would say Paqueta is already. I bet.
Yeah,
I'd say he is.
I reckon he is, because I think you got to bear in mind where they come from, right? This stadium that we've got with the, you know, big open cabinets.
Do you feel like they've got the same connection like they had at Upton Park, though?
Well, yeah, I do, because when I was in Prague, you know, those players were all over the fans, honestly, including Paqueta. They couldn't have been happier. Lucas Paqueta recently had a birthday party for one of his kids. All his kids were dressed in West Ham kits and everything else. He takes it seriously. He's a deep individual, Paqueta, right? I think you're right. I think it'd be like, if he does go Man City, he'll always have a soft spot for us. He's amazing. He's a different type of player, and we get them. He's got, he's a little bit mad. He's a little bit mad, and we love those players who are a little bit mad. They always.
It
so
doesn't.
Bellamy, right?
Yeah, it doesn't. The problem is, I've said all of that. It doesn't mean we'll ever keep all these players because
of course not.
But
yeah,
we can only but try our best. And if you give your heart and sleeve to us, we'll give it back to you. And then you never know what will happen in that relationship.
And also probably Paqueta is a bad example. Reason being, the guy is literally a world class fucking talent that can go anywhere. So I think if Paqueta was kind of maybe a level or two lower, it could be a player that sees his career out at West Ham. Like Lanzini, like stay here for 9 years. Whatever.
Literally, the only requirement we've got in terms of we'll accept you at West Ham is that you give 100%, right, on the pitch. And if you've also got quality, then you're going to be a legend, right?
Yeah.
If you've got intermittent quality, you'll be a cult hero, that sort of thing. But primarily, it's about giving it your all. And I don't honestly think there's another club in the Premier League, maybe the clubs of our status and below, right? But I don't think the top clubs think like that.
Mark English has proved me wrong immediately. He's basically mentioned Fornals when he was happy, he was fucking happy.
Yeah, he was.
He's literally that's fair enough.
I think they come in. They come in. A lot of these players seeing us as a stepping stone, right?
Yeah.
That is Paqueta. That is kudos. Like it or not, that is what they, and that. Even though some of them end up leaving and going on to bigger and better things, they leave with they never really leave West Ham, right? And that's what Ginge was saying on that that night with the West Ham Fan TV guys. He said, but and Joey Cole said it as well. He said players never really leave; they always have an affinity with a club, and I think that's true. I think we are a different type of club,
Yeah, no, I think we are. Well, Joey Cole also said that he had an affinity with Chelsea and Nice, or whoever it was that he played for, and
But we're very hospitable.
Basically, whoever he's got a TV deal with, he's got an affinity with. Joe Cole.
Yeah, but he weren't just saying that. Listen, he did have a great relationship with the Chelsea fans, and he didn't have a relationship with the Liverpool fans, did he? Because he didn't play his best football there. And when he went to Nice, it was a slower game, and so he did really well, and the fans loved him and stuff like that. So I think he wears his heart on his sleeve. Joey Cole is another one, right?
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah,
sneaky Chris Grant. I know. I've got the munchies.
I think to keep players like Paqueta and Kudus, assuming he comes in and does what we think he's going to do, in order to progress, in order to keep him, you've got to progress.
Yeah.
Right. Otherwise, they move on to something bigger.
Especially your best players, your better players, and I think that's the pressure that we're facing now. Because, and can you imagine? I mean, look, the furore around Jared Bowen was big because that was massive. Jared Bowen is a player that could have gone elsewhere. He could have gone on to you could say bigger and better things. But can you imagine?
I don't think he could have done bigger and better than us. I've got to be honest.
No. But could you imagine if Paqueta committed to us?
Yeah.
I mean that would be the best thing ever. Honestly, it really would. It would be amazing. It really would be.
Yeah, I mean, look, it is. But all I'd ever say, remember, a player's always got his price, no matter how long his contract is.
Oh no, I know that.
Yeah, end of the day,
we need to get that. I'll tell you what, John, we've got to get that silly 85 million fucking clause out of his contract.
Yeah, I'm not sure they can change that now, though. I mean,
no, if we gave him a new contract, we could fucking get that written out.
Yeah, but it's a lot for. Look,
that ain't a lot. 85 million. Make
no,
it
no,
a
no, no.
That
it's
is
a
not
lot.
a lot.
No, but a player and his agent will look at that and go, well, why are we going to, if they want to leave, like we thought we wanted to leave, right? They're not going to agree to put it up to 120 million, for example, because then it makes it harder for them to move, doesn't it? If they want to move.
But you look at it another way, an agent will get a percentage of a fee when they move.
Yeah, true.
So, if it's capped at 85 million, first of all, we throw Paqueta a load of new money. The agent gets a bit of money out of that, and we say, right, we'll increase that to 150 million. So if he moves, then they'll get more money in the long run. So it could be win-win for all concerned. I'm not being funny. Man City can afford 150 million.
Of course they can.
They're cake go bake, aren't they?
Yeah, caked up.
Yeah, they are. But anyway, look, we're going to call it a night, everyone. This was supposed to be a short show.
Yeah, I know.
This ended up running to 2 hours, but thank you very much for everyone that sent those messages in. As you saved our bacon because we didn't have much to talk about. So really appreciate that as always. Some great messages in there. Some new voices as well. It was good to hear. Arnie throwing that message in and that message from is it Lau? Is it how do you pronounce his name? From Finland?
Leah.
I think Leah from Finland.
Yeah.
Really good. It's kind of got us thinking.
It was good. It was good, but he called it a low block again. Please, can people use proper language?
It was funny that him and Arnie had a very similar question, right?
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
And they're both from Scandinavian countries.
Yes, coincidence.
There you go.
Yeah.
No, very good.
Both countries end with ish.
That's true.
Finnish
and Danish.
Yeah.
Finland and
you're reaching there, John.
Denmark.
Right. Anyway, thank you, everyone. Oh, look, before you all go, a quick message on them. You should be getting your mugs this week. You should be getting your mugs this week.
What's the excuse?
No, they should be getting. No, they've been. They're gone. They should be between, I don't know, Wednesday or Friday. I haven't sent your tracking details out yet. I'll do that tomorrow. But they've.
Moyes will be out by the time you deliver those mugs.
It's only a week late. Gary, I had to back them. They turned up. All the print was wrong. So how I've managed to turn it around this quick is fucking mental. But I panicked. Or either they printed it wrong or I got the design wrong. But I managed to sort of
do the people know receiving it that they're cup puzzles? They've got to put it back together again. You haven't wrapped them properly.
It's all about the bubble wrap, John.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah. But thanks very much, everyone. Good show, and we'll be back. Tell you what I've done. I met up with our mate Gary from Romford earlier today, and I've done a little pre-record. So you got 40 minutes of me and Romford, talking about tropical fish and other things. Now, it was a really good chat, actually. It was a really good chat. So I'll probably put that out tomorrow afternoon. Me and Gary in a pub.
Tropical fish.
That's why he was down. That's why he was down this way. He goes to Wildwoods to go and get plants and things for his fish.
What has he got? Koi carp or something?
He's got all sorts. He's got marine fish and tropical fish. He's got.
Fucking hell!
He's another one. He's Keiko, isn't he? Keiko Bacon.
Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah.
I'm in the wrong job, aren't
I? I know. But anyway, that's it. That's it from us. Thank you, everyone.
Good night.
See you in a week.
Good night, people.
Yeah, I'm on your ones.
Silly bastards.
I can't listen to Massive tonight.
No, we're not Massive tonight.
You leave us live when we've said bye. We look like right muppets.
Yeah, you've got to say bye again now.
You're a muppet. All right. See you later, everyone.
Bye.
Cheers.
Bye, everybody.
Yeah.